Hello and welcome. Oh, restart that. Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Stitch. I am Sarah. This is a knitting primarily podcast, and this is where I can share my makes, plans, etc. with all of you, because my family will kill me if they keep having to hear me talk about knitting. So today is April 14th. It is a Friday. I'm working from home. It is phenomenal weather. I live in New Jersey, right near Manhattan in Hoboken, and it is currently 86 degrees, which anyone is Celsius, I think it's around 28, 29 degrees Celsius. It is a blue sky. I have no motivation to work at all right now, so I'm filming a podcast. And I will say, disclaimer, my doors and windows are open, so if you hear any honking, sirens, people yelling, just general street noise, I'm very sorry. I will try and cut out anything if it gets bad, but I can't make any promises because I live in a city. So today I don't have any finished objects, but I have a million whips, a few new acquisitions, some plans, and why my plans are my plans. I'm gonna say that. Essentially, if you've been watching for a while, I would have talked about this, but I don't know what colors look good on me because I mean, I'm not a traditional colored, I am, but I'm not. Like, red hair is not common. Specifically my red, I don't know, it's very strange. So, like, growing up, everyone always told me I couldn't wear red, I shouldn't wear pink because they're way too close to this. So, but then I'm also pale, so like pastels I feel like wash me out. But then there's some dark colors like the jewel tones, which I love, but like ruby red, I've always been told don't wear them. So I had a sweater that I was knitting, I'm still knitting, it's still wet, it hasn't been touched in months, that I was unsure about, and I had kind of mentioned I wanted to do a bee somehow got into my apartment, so had to get it out. The joys of having windows open. But what was I saying? Color analysis. So I wanted to kind of get like my seasonal colors done, because I saw it on TikTok, but also just to see, like, from an impartial person, what colors would look good on me. So I did, and I guess we'll start with that since I'm already going through it. So essentially what happened was I have my laptop here so I can look at what I'm saying. But so essentially I sent the woman who did it, I think 5 photos, and she looked at, let's see, the color of my skin's undertone, whether it was cool or warm, my hair and eye undertone, and whether that was cool or warm. And both of those were pretty warm. I mean, hair, obviously. Eyes, I don't know. I have like greeny kind of hazel eyes. So she said they were kind of warm / neutral. She looked at the contrast of my coloring. So like if it was kind of all the same tone, medium contrast or higher contrast, and I am pretty much all very similar in contrast because everything's kind of the same. So I was very light contrast, and then the amount of saturation that looks best on me, so higher saturation versus lower saturation, and she decided, so based off of all of that, she put me into the autumn family, which I probably would have guessed anyway, if I'm honest, just based off of like the colors I typically wear. But the reasons she put me in the autumn family are neutral, slightly warmer undertones, low contrasting features, and muted saturation levels. So then she drilled down, because I guess that whatever system she uses has 12 different, it's the door lock, 12 different like there's 3 sub-seasons for every season. So she said I am more a soft autumn than any others because of the gentle colors. And it's the least saturated of the autumn palette. So I will I feel like it's easiest to just put a screenshot somewhere here rather than like me flip my laptop around. So you can see, like, she kind of said that like these 6 colors are like the main driving factors of the soft autumn color palette. And then she gave me all of the soft autumn colors, which there's 25, maybe 26. So that is what in the future, well, I don't want to say only, but I think I'm gonna try for the next few months to make any garments I make to kind of follow this color palette and just see how I feel about it, because like there's a lot of pinks and I will dabble, but I don't know how I feel about the pinks, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, like I'm hoping I'm putting this on the screen, but like the neutral line, done, perfect, sold. Greens and browns, perfect, love them. Then we get into the pinks and reds, and that's a little scary for me. And then the blues, obviously, I'm all about. Greens, blues are my happy space. So that is where my making thoughts are going towards for garments and any like bigger whips I make for myself in the next few months, just to see how I feel about it. But I thought this was like very in-depth. I didn't go for like one of the full like really expensive ones. It was like 3 a.m. and one day I was like, let's just see, and like Googled it and I found one for like $70, and it's very comprehensive. It's a 17-page PDF with makeup suggestions on like eyeshadow colors, blush colors, eyeliners, lipstick, mascaras that would look best with me, the best ways to apply the makeup for like whether I want like a casual look, a bold, doors open, bold look, a natural look, a dramatic look, things like that. Who the celebrities that kind of have my coloring / same color family, not necessarily like the exact same as me, but they're the same color family as me. And then colors to avoid, which the colors to avoid, oh, sorry, it's okay, coffee break. Colors to avoid, I mean, for the most part, make sense. Like, obviously, these are not gonna be for me, except black. I don't think I'm gonna subscribe to the black one because I wear a lot of black, but everything else, yeah, no, I probably would never wear those colors anyway. And then she talked about jewelry, colors, and why I wasn't in other seasons specifically. So that was that. My color analysis, which I thought was very interesting, and I'm happy I got it. So that was a large tangent, and I will talk about that later with my making plans. But for now, I will get into whips because I think I said this already, I don't have any finished objects. So I will just start grabbing things as I see them because everything is kind of sprawled in front of me. So I will start with my closest whip, which is my Marius Sweater number 3, which I am making for my dad. And I am making it out of, oh God, we're twisted. Oh God. Sandnesgarn Sisu. Sisu? Yes, Sisu. And it is a gray situation. Oh, God. Nothing nice here. Okay, so I have a bit of the body done. I don't know, what's that? I can't remember if I showed this last time or not, but I've got that much of the body done. It's bottom up. The traditional Marius pattern does not have color work on the bottom, but he wanted color work on the bottom similar to what I did on mine and my mom's Marius's. I hope this is focusing. So I just copied two of the motifs from the yoke and just put it into the body, and I will put it on the sleeve as well. It's gonna take forever. I'm making him someone's blocking the street. 107 centimeter size. This pattern is from a Sandnesgarn magazine, so I think the way that they do those is you have to buy the magazine or like the pattern booklet and yarn to make something in it to get the pattern. So I have that. I can... Hey, Salt. They're making progress. It's further away now. I can see if I can figure out which specific issue it's from, but I got it from Mother Knitter. The yarn is also from Mother Knitter. And the colors I'm using, the main color is 1053. It is this like mid heather gray. And then I have 2 balls of 1032, which is this lighter gray. Also a little heathered. And then I have 1 ball of 6062, which I think is just like marine or navy maybe. But it is just this navy blue color. So that is what I'm making for him. Hopefully it will be done at some point this year. I will say it seems like it's going faster than it would because I'm knitting this on, I think 3.25s. Yes, 3.25. So it's moving. Not quickly, but it's moving. So got a long way to go until color work. I think once I get to the color work, it's going to fly by. And then I just have to deal with the sleeves. And the sleeves are fine. Sleeves are easy. You can do sleeves in the summer. They don't take up much body space to keep you warm. So I'm hoping, his birthday's in August. I'm hoping to have this done by August. That seems doable considering it's 4 months away, but we will see. So that is the Marius. Right. Next we'll go cumulus. So this is my cumulus blouse by Petite Knit. I am making this size small, which is what I typically make in her pattern sizes, and I am using Woolberry Fiber Company in the colors Pacific and Tidal in her Surrey bases. I hope those are focused. And this is how it's looking. So, as you can see, I've got a solid like 2 inches past the arm split. It's very warm. I think I'm pretty used to the 2 Surrey strands now. I will say I did not do a gauge swatch. I haven't even checked my gauge. I have no idea where I'm at. I feel like I'm a little loose because I watched Chelsea from True Lane, her podcast yesterday, and she's also making this, and she said she has like no gaps in her fabric, and I definitely do. So that's fine, whatever. just a sweater, but I'm loving how this is working out. It's really a lot easier to see on the back, like the speckles. I think they're so fun, and the tonal with the speckles is like, I mean, as expected, kind of toning it down, but they're such a good combo. So loving that. I have two skeins of each color. This is still my first skein, so I think I'm not gonna alternate skeins on this just because I don't want the hassle of 4 things. So I will just be living my life with however these skeins come out. If there's any differences or not with like color pooling and just the nature of hand dyed yarn, you should alternate. Sometimes I just don't feel like it though. Next project. Go for this one so I can get it off my lap. My Brioche Adventure by Jonathan Tallow. And I swear this is the last time anyone is gonna ever have to see this, or second to last time before I finish it. So if you're new here or have forgotten, this is my 2022 Advent project. The yarn is from Prosper Yarn in New Zealand, and the theme was a Kiwi Christmas, and if you can't tell, it is a beautiful fade. And I am on my third to last section. So I am knitting this. I've been knitting this since Christmas. These are my 2 colors I'm using right now. And I got this Advent on her singles base. It's lovely, so drapey. Obsessed with brioche. I think I can pretty much do it without looking now, which is, I'd like to think, impressive, but I think it's impressive. And I love it. Next project, a lot of chaotic cast of energy. This has been a semi-whip for a very long time, and it is the Feel Good Shawl by Andrea Mowry, and I am knitting this out of the Wandering Flock. It is a kit I bought last year when the pattern came out. And what was I gonna say? Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, I've tried to make this like 3 times and have not made it very far because I kept forgetting to do increases on one of the sides. So like you do increases on this side, you do increases in the middle, oops, almost knocked stitches off the end, and then you do increases on this side. So when I was doing it the last few times, I kept forgetting to increase on one of the sides, whether it be, I think it was usually like the last row, like I would get, or like the last increase, I would get too excited that I was getting across and then forget to do it. But it is a brioche shawl that I decided to restart again because Andrea is running her March to May make along. I guess it's a knit along, but so this is 2 color brioche. This is the wrong side, and this is the right side. And let me see if I can pull up the colors. I know the darker color is teal. Let's see if I can quickly pull this up. Like I said, I did get this as a kit from the Wandering Flock when the pattern was released. So my other colors I have are, the next color I'm going to go into is pistachio cream for the single color brioche section. And then the last 2 I'm going to do lichen and YOLO. They're right there. That's where I'm looking. It's all my yarn. Lichen and YOLO. I haven't decided which one will be in the front versus the back, but dusty blue. It's this color. So that is this. And it's gotten some good progress. I think I have like 4 more increases in this section, and then I will be on to pistachio cream, which I'm very excited about. Righty. Next, inside out. Next is my Dear Duomo. This is by Songhee Hong, and I'm knitting this out of Explorer Knits and Fiber Irish Goodbye in their tweed base. This is from the Ireland collection. Oh, it's such a good color. And I am finished with the back and just need to finish the front left shoulder and neck, and then I will bind that off. Front right is already done. And then based off of the designer's instruction, you should block the body to sew it together. I chose the option that is mattress stitch just because I wanted to try something different. So the instructions or the pattern says to block it at like once this is bound off, and then sew it together there, and then continue on with the neck and the sleeves. So that is probably what I'll be doing today. Since it's so warm out, it should dry relatively quickly, hopefully. But yeah, loving it. And I'm holding the tweed double, which is what the pattern originally called for. It wasn't tweed in the original pattern, but it was EKF cashmere, the MTN base. So that is this. It's so pretty. Not quite done for St. Patrick's Day, but close enough. And then I think my last whip my last two whips, I have my sock, which these are the Pretty Song socks by Summer Lee Knits. And these I think I started them right before my last podcast because I had bound off. What's the last ones I made? Were they just plain? I think they were just stockinette. Yeah. And I wanted to do a pattern, and this yarn just screams spring to me. The yarn is a homespun house. There's a horn again. The yarn is a homespun house Patreon sock set. I think it's from last year, sometime July maybe. And the brown is Teddy, and which is one of their normal tonals, and then the foot is called Kickapoo, and it is so bright and cheery. I wanted to do another Patreon homespun house sock set, and this was the one that was speaking to me, even though it was very similar to the everyday sock Celebrate. That was what that one was called. It just doesn't have as much brown, but it's got these really pretty like pops of purple and like neon pink and everything, so it's very springy. So this is them. This is the first sock. I have, I think, about 5 to 10 more rows, and then I will do the toe, and then I will be on the second sock. And I love these. These are my like commute / work socks, so I work on them at work. And this is the first time I've done lace, and it's not too bad, I would say. I'm pretty used to the pattern now. I like still have to check it just to make sure I'm doing it correctly, but I can read my knitting, so like the rest rows I know what to do. It's more so the yarn over and knit two together, so that I just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. But yes, so these are them. And then my last whip is a new whip because I have decided to give up on the belly sweater. So I finished the body, I finished the sleeve, I tried it on. It is ridiculously big, like laughably big in all areas. And I know that's partially my fault because I didn't swatch, and I kind of veered off the pattern because I wasn't getting the row gauge, so I had to just keep going and going to get the armpit depth that I wanted on it for my mom, and then I didn't think it through and kept increasing both the body and the sleeve as I was doing so. So it's a mess. It's so far in the naughty corner. It's never going to be seen again, I don't think. It's there. I haven't thrown it out yet, but like mentally it's gone, never to be seen again. So this is what I'm doing as the replacement. I have some Cascade 220 that I had bought for my mom's sweater, the Billy originally, when I was having all of the gauge issues with it the first 2 times. Excuse me. I bought some Cascade 220 hoping that that would help me. It didn't. And she didn't like the color as much. And I think the only reason she didn't like the color as much is because I showed it to her next to the Knitting for Olive, which was more of a bright white, and this is more of a cream. I think it's just called cream on their website, but she wanted a cream cable sweater anyway, so like she's still gonna be happy with it. But I haven't told her I gave up on the other one. I'm just done. I don't want to look at it anymore. I'm so sick of it. So instead I'm making the Honeycomb Aran by Gail Bunn, and I think this was a Lion Brand pattern originally. It's free. All of my notes are on Ravelry, but like I said, this is Cascade 220. It is knit in pieces and then seamed together. So the Dear Duomo will help me prep for that, because I don't think I've ever seamed together anything for my knitting. Like I've sewn together stuff, but like fabric and knit seem like 2 very different worlds for sewing. So we'll need to practice my mattress stitch, but so far so good. It looks, that's the wrong side, sorry, but this is how it's looking. I'm not even through 1 full repeat. I think this diamond pattern is the longest repeat. It's like 16 rows maybe. So I just started it. It will get some work here and there, and I may try and modify the sleeves so I can knit those in the round. But for the front and back, I just kind of wanted to follow the pattern and kind of get used to it. So this is it. And hopefully this isn't too big either, but I think this one should be fine. So yes. And I think that is it for whips from what I'm surrounded by. So I will go into my acquisitions and kind of plans. I think I'm gonna do just like a spring intentions plans video, which maybe I'll film like this evening, but post it later, because I feel like this has been long to begin with and not exactly brief in my descriptions of things. So I will just quickly go through my acquisitions. So I think this is all I've gotten. I'm a member, or I subscribe, I don't know what the correct word is, to the Skein Yarn Street Feet Club, and this was the March 2023 club color, and the color was blue violet. So there's this gorgeous, please don't focus on me, gorgeous main skein, and then a speckled skein, both with that like beautiful purple, blue, violet color. And I realized I have accumulated a lot of sock sets. So I'm toying with the idea of, for sock sets I don't think I'm gonna get to in the near future, sending them to someone to crank into tubes so that I can just put the heels, toes, cuffs in and have them, because then it will move things out of my stash and into my dresser, which means I can buy more things. So I'm kind of overflowing with like sock sets right now, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to knit them all, because I get these sock sets. I get my Patreon sock sets from Molly of A Homespun House, which I haven't gotten the last 3 months because something happened with my subscription and I didn't realize it until March. So I didn't get January or February. I think I'm getting March. I can't remember when I like figured out that my subscription wasn't working and stuff. But I have this sock set, the Patreon Molly sock set, which is only a 50 gram, but still it's another sock set. And then I am part of the Woolberry Collective, and my thoughts and intentions this year were to get sock sets every month, because in addition to any extra skeins I wanted for like sweaters or things like that, because I don't think Bethany said she was doing a club this year. Like, she's done The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and last year was Anne of Green Gables. And I love my Woolberry sock sets. So I've got a lot of sock sets. And then I had like a few things of yarn from like my dad, like when he went to Tasmania, he brought back sock yarn that he wants socks made out of. So I'm thinking I might just send like 10 might be too many. 6? Maybe I'll do like 6. I'll send like 6 skeins. Just I found someone on Etsy that does it. And just have them crank the tubes, and then I can put in heels toes cuffs with either the mini or rip it out and use the tube yarn for it. So I'm toying with that idea. We'll see if that actually happens or not, but in my head it sounds like a lovely time. So that is that. And then the other yarn I bought was Knitting for Olive for a tee I would like to make the next few months. I bought Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Dove Blue, and this was after I had my like seasonal color analysis done, so I tried to buy something that was kind of in the palette, and like, not that I wouldn't buy this color anyway, but like I feel like that would look good on me. And with this I'm planning to make the Karina tee by Sari Nordlund, which I believe is Pure Silk held double, and it's a cabled t-shirt, and I'm very excited about that. So I will talk about it more in the plans video, but I'm thinking that I will be casting this on in the near future, hopefully. So that is it, I think, for me today. Like I said, I probably will film my spring knitting plans video like probably right after this. I need to check my laptop and see if anyone needed me or sent me messages, because it's been muted and I'm supposed to be working, but I'm not. But if not, I will film it in the near future and go through it of just things I want to finish, things I want to knit, and maybe I'll do a recap on the winter knitting plans. I don't want to say the winter knitting plans were a fail, but they weren't an overwhelming success, which I think we all saw coming because I had a lot of things on there. So, but that will be coming up. I hope you have enjoyed watching. I hope you have a great day, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. And please let me know what you were knitting on. If you have any suggestions of patterns I should take a look at for my spring plans. And yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day, night. I've already said that. And I will see you next time. Bye.